Another day to make impact, another day just to be inspired. And I'm here to talk to Bishop Harrison Amoateng, and he will be sharing with us on capacity building. And I trust it will be informative, it will be educative, and it will inspire you to the next level. He is the Bishop, I call him the Bishop of Kumasi, raised a lot of leaders, and today he is right here with us on Inspiration. So let's come.
You are welcome to my house.
Thank you. You have a beautiful place.
Yes,
amazing place. Amazing place.
For your healthy and delicious choice of bread, then look no further. These bakery services as your number one and preferred choice for your sugar bread, wheat bread, butter bread, coconut bread. Then these bakery services as your number one and preferred choice. For further information on how to order bread from these bakery services, contact 0508 728 963 or 0508 0966 41. These bakery bread, your healthy and delicious choice.
You can locate this bakery at Medina Zongo Junction, Accra. Well, welcome to Inspiration right here on Truth TV and also on YouTube on Inspiration with Felix Dadzie. I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Inspiration with Felix Dadzie. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, myself, I am so happy to see you again. You are looking nice.
You're looking amazing too.
Accra is doing you good. They are treating you well. I think they are giving you kenke and other things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, now I am in African,
yes,
and you are in suits. I remember 5 years ago you advised. You
yes,
said I should be
more African than European.
Why this?
The reason being, sometimes we see when you enter into a new community, we call something acculturation.
Okay.
And in acculturation demands that you look like the people.
Okay.
So that the people accept you.
Okay.
And so when they accept you, then you get back to your own.
So
because,
that's what you mean.
Yeah, because I have gradually started entering into American and European communities, I started to acculturate myself and look like them. And when they accept me, I go back to my roots.
What inspires some of the things you write on your WhatsApp status? Because I've been reading your WhatsApp status a lot, and anytime I learn something new, once in a while you post something that is mind-boggling. Am I the only person to tell you that, or there are people who are...
People do say that, hey, what inspires those words? 3 things inspired me: grace. Sometimes the Spirit of God lays something on my heart.
Okay.
That this what the Church of God or the body of Christ ought to know.
Okay.
Other times too, it is experience. So experience also counts a lot. And sometimes too, I look at around my environment. The environment speaks. You see, everything around us is speaking. Everything around us is speaking.
Okay.
Just that some of us, we have just decided not to listen to what our environment is telling us. So that is basically the reason why I write some of my things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today we're talking capacity building, and you've raised a lot of leaders in the aspect of Christianity. You've raised a lot of pastors. Do you still have in mind how many pastors and leaders you've raised?
I think they should not be less than 2,000.
They should not be less than 2,000.
Yes.
Wow. In a span of how many years?
I think 2007.
Wow.
Yes, since 2007. Some years we get over 200 pastors.
All right. So, Bishop, when we talk about capacity building, what do we mean by capacity building?
Okay, thank you very much. You see, when you talk about capacity building, it's more of bringing out the best that is in you.
Okay.
It is helping bring out the best that is in you. And as I keep saying, every human being is born with a degree of abilities.
With a degree of abilities, okay.
No matter how we may deem the person to be disabled or whatever, a critical consideration of that person's life will prove to you that the person has a degree of ability.
Okay.
The person can do something perfectly well. But it demands that somebody assists that fellow to bring out the best that is in him or her. If you check the life of David, you could see something interesting. The first time we met him was when Samuel visited the house.
Okay.
That time he was not even in the house. He was at the field taking care of sheep and the flocks. And then he came, the next time was when we saw him with a sling.
Okay.
Stones to fight Goliath. But if you check the prophecy of that young man, he was destined to become a king.
Okay.
And you cannot lead the nation with a sling and stones. That knowledge was not enough. But then the leadership discovered that he has the capacity of a warrior within him. So they took him to the palace. He became the armor bearer of Saul. And through that, built his capacity as a warrior and a king. So it takes people to build up that which is in you.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is very important in our life, especially in our development when we are aspiring to become leaders, future leaders. In every facet of life,
okay,
we need to build that capacity.
We need to build that capacity. All right. Now, how do we locate that someone? Because you spoke about someone who will help us in order to build that capacity. How do we locate that this man can help me build this capacity for my field, whether the field of medicine, whether the field of business, whether the field of agriculture, journalism, law, whatever facet of life? How do you locate that person that will help build that capacity?
Felix, you want to be a father, you don't go around looking, making somebody who is a bachelor your mentor.
Okay.
You look for somebody who has done it before, who has been there before, who has succeeded as a father. And that person, so you first of all have to locate somebody who has succeeded in that field of discipline. If you want to be a lawyer, you locate somebody, you look for somebody who has succeeded in that field. But this man has been able to do it. So perhaps I have to go and check, follow him to learn how to become a lawyer, a proper lawyer. Number two, you just don't go and follow somebody because he knows how to do a particular thing. Because there's something funny about human beings. Whatever I know, I will teach you. If you are my mentor, my mentee, sorry. So if you follow the person because he is a good, let's say, prophet, he will not only teach you how to prophesy, he will also add his character to it.
Okay.
So he will teach you his character. So if you're not careful, you will discover that, even if you check, you discover that if this particular man of God or that particular person is, let's say, is a humanizer and a prophet, majority of the products that comes out of him, they are prophets, all right, but you see the trace of that behavior. If the person is proud, the person will be a prophet, all right, but that character also, you see it as a challenge. So whoever you are going to sit under to teach you or build your capacity, all these things must be considered.
Okay.
The third thing is you should prayerfully consider who you choose. Because as much as the person may be good or bad, or successful in that area, it's not necessarily going to be the right person for you.
Okay.
Not every good person is going to be good in your life.
Not every good person is going to be good in your life.
In your life.
What do you mean by that, sir?
I mean to say that when you see when the Bible, when the apostles met to pray, God said, choose for me Paul and Barnabas.
Okay.
The question is, why Paul and Barnabas? God saw that the two, it was going to be helpful. Why not Paul and Peter? Do you know that few years later we discovered tension between Paul and Peter? Even though between Paul and Barnabas they were able to even come back again.
Okay.
But Paul and Peter had tension. If you read the book of Corinthians, you see it's a beef book. Paul writing against Peter and his people. It's like a beef. Like these days, you see pastors and pastors beef. It is not.
So
beef.
it didn't.
No.
It didn't start from today.
No,
You see
it's not from
Pastor
this
A go
generation.
on radio
No, it's not
and bash this pastor.
It didn't start
Another
from
one,
this generation.
another one goes on TV and bashes another pastor. It didn't start from today.
No.
Okay.
It started from the days of Paul and Peter. Peter had sent some people to the church in Corinthians to speak to them about the need to adhere to some Judaism laws.
Okay.
Circumcision and other things. And when Paul heard it, he wrote to them that you Corinthians, you have no sense. Having started with the Spirit, how foolish are you? Who is Paul? Who is Peter? Even when I met him, I chastised him. I rebuked him. He was hypocrite. So if you read the book of Corinthians, you see somebody who is offended by some report that he has received.
You received.
So it is a beef book.
Okay.
Yeah, so when the Holy Ghost was choosing, he selected Barnabas and Paul, not Peter and Barnabas. But John and Peter had worked all their lifetime, and never did we see anything. So it is not necessarily the person being good or bad. Not every good person will be good in your life. It's even choosing a wife. Not every good girl will be good for you.
Not every good girl.
No. Not
And
every
choosing
good
a
girl.
wife.
Yes, no, she may be good, but the kind of battles you will be fighting, she may not have that capacity to stand with you.
Okay.
And so there are so many ladies who are, oh, he's good. He knows how to cook. The form is calmer. Everything is good. But that is not necessarily going to be good for you.
For your healthy and delicious choice of bread, then look no further. These bakery services as your number one and preferred choice for your sugar bread, wheat bread, butter bread, coconut bread. Then these bakery services as your number one and preferred choice. For further information on how to order bread from these bakery services, contact 0508 728 963 or 0508 0966 41. These bakery bread, your healthy and delicious choice. You can locate Dee's Bakery at Madina Zongo Junction, Accra.
So in choosing a wife as a young man, what do you have to look out for?
You need to watch and pray.
You need to watch and pray. Okay.
Watch her behavior. Watch her character. Watch her form, if you like that form. Watch her brain, how it works. If she's not lunatic, she's not mad. So a woman who, when she gets annoyed, she's bashing everything.
The TV.
Bashing everything. Watch that, all those. Watch the way she speaks to people. Watch. But you have to also pray.
But can't you say, oh, I've watched this, it's bad, but I can change it?
Okay, that is also another challenge. If you think you can go ahead and change, the question is, how far have you changed yourself? You yourself, how far have you changed yourself? And so that challenge that I'm going in and I'm going to change it, that is up to you.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to say that you are going to see any perfect woman being anywhere. But there are some things you need to watch. You met a young girl, she's so generous that she'll be giving herself to people. Very, very generous girl. Every month she will give it to people. And then at the end of the month, she will go around taking a pay.
Salary.
And then you say, oh, I'm going to change her. Okay, go ahead and change her. But the question is, how far have you changed yourself?
Okay.
So that one. So in that capacity. You need to prayerfully consider, is this person the right person for me?
Okay.
Has he been able to do what I want to do successfully? And then what is his character? Is it a character that I can go ahead? You see, I want my children to learn how to play organ, the keyboard. But I'm also particular about whoever teaches them how to play the keyboard. Because if the person who is teaching the son keyboard knows how to smoke, he will not only teach him how to play the keyboard, he will also add it to it. That's the reason why some years back our parents weren't so happy with us going to learn those things because most of those boys were into some behavior. And so the parents were careful that, no, don't let him go. Because, of course, we know. So, so these are some of the things we should consider in choosing whoever will help build our capacity. Now, I also want to say, those who you want to build their capacity. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
This is not a question of asking.
This is not a question that, yeah.
It's
a bonus one.
Yes,
it's a bonus one.
It's like, who do you also build his capacity?
Capacity.
Because if the person have to choose you, you need to also choose somebody. And I say, before I choose somebody to build his capacity, I want to choose somebody who is patient enough to go through the process.
Patient enough to go through the process.
I have a young boy. Also, the young man is very deep. If he comes here right now, he will mention our names, mention our grandmother's names, mention our great-grandfather's names. He will mention the food we ate. He would say so many things. You'll be amazed. But this week, I told him to go and start his own ministry.
Wow.
I don't want him around me.
Wow.
Because I discovered that he has problem with the process. He want to skip it. He want to skip it because he thinks that the giftings are enough. But I have been here for long.
How many years have you done?
At least 27 years ago.
Wow.
I have been here for long, so I discovered that the least to go with is the gift.
The least to go with
is the gift. So you know why the prodigal son came back?
Tell me.
He came back because the only thing he went with is wealth. He went with money with no character. He went with money with no protection. The father knew that this boy would come back. What's that, baby? With giftings, you are going nowhere. You are going nowhere. The old man knew that, he gave him the money. But he knew that he would come back. With this money, you will come back. Because with no character, you will mess up whatever comes your way. And so you need to choose a man if you want to build a capacity of people. We have regretted anointing fools and people who were not disciplined. This time, I am careful who I anoint and whoever I lay my hands on, because I don't want to raise another unscrupulous, preposterous people. I want to raise people who are disciplined enough to bring glory to ministry. Not because he is gifted and anointed and can do anything. He has no respect for process. And so check the person if he has respect for process.
If he has respect for process. What is the process that you're talking about? Because if the person is gifted, if the person can do everything in your field of ministry, what shows that, what process again are you talking about? And what do we mean by process?
Process. You see, it may not be laid now, but it is around. You may not see that A, B, C, but if you go to any institution, there's a process before you become a leader, before you get into this post. So there's a process, or let me use there's a protocol.
Protocol, okay.
It may not be written, but there's an unwritten protocol.
Okay.
Now you don't forgo, you don't skip. You need to acknowledge them.
Acknowledge them.
And so the person must be patient enough to go through what every other person goes through. Only that as leaders, there are some people who, when they come closer, you allow them to skip one or two of the process. But most often, we've discovered that when we make people skip those processes, they become true ones.
Okay.
So now, whoever comes, go through the process.
Okay.
Regardless of your anointing. This is how come some institutions have established years and they are still there. You go to Church of Pentecost, and whether you are a cardinal or pope, when you step in the church, you will start as a deacon.
Okay.
then you come like an elder before you become a pastor. They believe that once you stay with us, you know our modus operandi, you know some things. So by the time you become a leader in the church, you handle things well. But if the person thinks he is so big and can't go through that process, don't give him that chance. Because if you give him that chance, he will step on your neck and look into the future and will not even acknowledge that you gave him your neck.
Amazing. Amazing.
The second thing is you have to check pride.
Pride. Okay.
See, whenever a person, you see, sometimes there's a thin line between pride and boldness. If you're not careful, you will think that anybody who is bold is proud. No. Proud people look down on people.
Okay.
They see others as nobody before them.
Okay.
Anybody who sees himself better than people is proud. But both people, they see grace available for them to do something. They believe that God is on their side. When the person is bold, he believes that by the grace of God, he can do something. He is even there to motivate those who don't have that grace. He doesn't look down on them. He thinks he is around to motivate them to do better. So proud people diminishes even the little strength in others. Both people will reboast it. They will frame it up. When you meet a bold person, he will tell you, we can do it. Let us make it. It will work. But when you meet a proud person, he will make you look inferior.
Now, what can you do?
Who are you? What can you do? Sit down and let us do it. But a bold person will arise and say, let us go. We can do it, like Joshua. Joshua will say, we can do it. Let us go. We can do it. They are not too much for us. Yes, they may look bigger and mightier, but we have a God by our side. That is boldness. Pride is saying, who are you people? I will smash you. I will do this. You inferior person. So when you meet a proud person, he dehumanizes people around him. But when you meet a bold person, he motivates people around him.
Wow.
So you check that, how is this person? Is it the person who throws his weight around people and make people look like they are inferior and that he is the superior one? Now, if you check that attitude in that person, don't continue to mentor him. Let him go. Because if you dare continue and release all your arsenals and teach him all you know, and then he becomes solid in that food, you regret raising him.
Okay.
So you check process, you check pride. And then there's something you have to also consider. How does the person handle power?
How does the person handle power?
Power.
Okay.
What does he do when you grant him power? How
That's
does
a position.
Position. How does he relate to people? So, you see, to me, I may be wrong. To me, Christianity is about relationship.
It's about relationship.
Yes, everything about. It's not about anything I do in the pulpit or the pulpit I preach or who I know. Those I go to. Do you know me? Do you know the people I see? Do you know the people who come to see me? It has got nothing to do with all those things. Christianity is about relationship. How do you relate with God? And how do you relate with your other human beings? It's not about anything. It's not about your perfection. It's not about how do you relate with people. People that cross your path. How do you relate? You don't tell me anything more. I speak in tongues. I prophesy. I cast demons. I do all those things. I tell my students. Those things have got nothing to do. It is just bonuses. I was telling my son that if you are looking for a wife, don't check the check. How weightier its monthly check is, but check the person behind the check.
Okay.
Because if a check is weightier and the person behind the check is useless, you will never have peace in your house. So the girl is rich, they have money. No, that doesn't move me. How does the person relate with human beings. Because there will come a time you may have to take care of your grandfather, your mother, your father, and may have to come and stay with you. How will your wife treat me? There will come a time your siblings may have to come closer. How will your wife treat them? How would the husband, no matter how powerful, he's a prophet, he's a powerful prophet, but that man has no respect for anybody. He can prophesy heaven and earth. If he does not relate well with people, that is dangerous. It's very dangerous. And these are, and they say motivational speakers have taught them that cut people off, cut this off, cut that off. I was checking one bishop, the last bishop, who was speaking recently, that his father's family members came to visit him, and then they told him, Daddy, there are people around talking, and he said, who are they? He says, they are from my father's family. And he said, throw them away, don't mind them, let them go. I don't want to have anything to do with my biological father's family members. And so what is this teaching us? But these are the motivational speakers. They are not teaching us Christianity. These are business-minded people. Because when the person is bringing envelopes, bring him in. When the person has no envelope, cut him off. They say that consider who is bringing something on your table.
What you are shaking tables actually today.
If the person is not bringing anything on the table, to the table. Also, there are so many people who bring you something to the table today. But what you are eating is poison in disguise.
Mercy.
If you don't know, ask Samson. That Delilah brought something to the table. She brought him something big. He was chopping. He brought him the lamb. Her lamb. Now you see, I could see she was an infantile woman.
Not at all.
And Samson was enjoying the lamb. She brought something to the table. But look at what ended up.
And there's Samson.
So not everybody who is bringing you something to the table is actually bringing you something good. Then can I make a statement here?
Make a statement.
So there are some people who may not bring anything to the table today, but tomorrow they will be the table.
That's powerful. There are some people who will not bring anything to the table today, but in the future they will be the table.
They will be the table you have been waiting for.
Amazing.
They will be the Esther you were feeding. Esther was a burden, but later she became a blessing. And so you have to be careful how you... See, what I'm saying is, if the person is the kind who does not relate well with people, don't give him all your arsenals. Don't build that capacity.
Don't build a person's capacity.
No, don't build it. It's going to be a burden to the next generation. It's going to be a curse in disguise to the next generation. Don't give him all that you know, because in doing so, you are burdening up a monster. Look at it. All the people who have been disturbing Americans, they are all people they produce. The Putins, the Obama. These are people they all supported to breed. Later, look at what they are doing to them. So people you breed is very important, because if there will be somebody who will cast you down or castigate you, these are the people who will do that. So when you are building your capacity, look for somebody who has done it before.
Look for someone who has done it before. Okay.
But look at the character of the person also. And they'll be prayerful in looking for that people. But if you are also going to build capacity, look for a person who is ready to go through the process. Look for somebody who is not proud. Look for somebody who will handle power judiciously, will not abuse power. When he's given the opportunity to handle power, he will handle it well. If you see a cockroach, this animal, a toad on top of a wall, it means that somebody helped him out. Because naturally, toads or frogs don't climb walls. Somebody might have helped him out.
Okay.
So if you want to go up and build, somebody must help you. Somebody must help you. That thing must be in your mind. If you want to build your capacity, somebody must help you.
Okay.
But you yourself must be ready to allow people to help you.
All right. If you want to get to the top, somebody must help you. But you yourself, you must be ready to be helped. In our generation today, do you think the youth are moving in the right direction to be built in terms of capacity and also to take over leadership positions?
I will say yes and say no. Yes, in the sense that there are several young men and women who are yearning to know, who are eager to know. They are eager to know. The unfortunate part is the people they go to learn from is our problem.
Okay.
Because they are too eager to know, they want to go everywhere, submit to anything. And that is a serious part of it, because some of these people, in addition to whatever they know and teaching you, they are teaching you other things. And as I said, that is the danger of it. So I remember several years ago, a young man will come to church and prophesy. A young lady. She will prophesy. This is about 1995.
A young lady.
A lady. She will prophesy. Everything she says was clear. And then she will say, she will hit you, bam, go and kneel before the altar. And then she will go to this person and she will prophesy. And then she will hit the person, go and kneel before the altar. Before we realized, she had met about 20 people were kneeling before the altar. This is a true story. I was there, I was ministering. And this guy started prophesying, so I was watching her. So I stopped and she was taking over. This is 95. How many years ago? Several years ago.
Several years ago.
And so she was ministering. I was a young preacher. That time I was secondary school then. Prempeh College.
Okay. You're an amount for.
Sorry. And so while she was doing that, one lady was within the members. She had a very sharp discernment of spirits. She shouted, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Felix, suddenly the prophetess shouted, Hey, now before she was rebuked, these are 20 people nearly before altar,
the altar,
in the name of prophetic direction. So they don't know whether their prophetess is now being exposed. So they didn't know whether they have to rise up or keep on kneeling down. So one by one will be crying. And they will go sit down. In fact, it was very, very embarrassing. We took about, I think it was an online service. We have to close the service and come and pray for this lady, this prophetess, to cast out this prophetic spirit in her out. And it took us over 2 hours. She started manifesting things, and somebody gave her water. Is it something? It was an animal that there's an owl. It's something they went to get something from that animal, that bird, and so she can see. She can see, but it's not of God.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is that this generation, young men are eager to know. But my problem is, where are you learning from? Where are they learning from? That is where I am so particular about that. And then the second is the motivation speakers. You need to be rich before 40. You need to be you see, so
if at 30 you are not rich, you are
disappointed to your generation. And so all those statements, it's putting pressure on them to succeed by the standard of the societal standard. So if the is 35 and he has no car, he's a case or whatever. Sometimes, so that kind of hastiness, pressure on them, is not helping us to build our capacities well. So we are half-baked leaders. You will see the person in public, he can preach, prophesy. In private, he has messed up his family life. He messes up, he speaks like somebody who doesn't know even the Bible. But in public, he will quote quotations. He will do things on pulpit. You will clap your hands for him. But behind the scenes, everything is messed up. And so I believe that if only they can be a little bit patient, for that I will keep saying that they should take it easy.
All right. Thank you so much for having these discussions with us. And we have been blessed and we have been inspired with these few words. Thank you so much.
Thank God.
Well, thank you for joining us on this edition of Inspiration. I trust that you have been inspired. This was capacity building with Bishop Harrison Amoateng. Maybe we'll hear from him again in subsequent editions right here on Inspirations with Felix Dadzie. My name is definitely Felix Dadzie, and thank you for joining us. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's it on your screen. Make sure you subscribe and then you share with your friends and family. See you on our next episode. Till then, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.